Stanford and California tee it up tonight for the 249th time since it all began back in 1911. Cal won number 248 last month, but since then Stanford is an improved lot. The Cardinal play big, the Bears play small. The Cardinal block shots, the Bears make all their free throws. The Cardinal is hungry, the Bears are hungry.
And we come to you this evening from the campus of the University of California here at Berkeley. We're at Haas Pavilion. We expect a sellout crowd for the basketball version of the big game. It's California and the 23rd ranked Stanford Cardinal before a sellout crowd at Haas. And hello again, everybody. I'm Barry Tompkins. You know my partner, the coach, Dan Belwamini. And Danny, we always talk about matchups. We talked about that the last time these two teams hooked up. And guess what? Horrible matchup for Cal. And they went and won the game. Yeah. So much for matchups.
Well, you never know about it, Barry. And certainly Cal got an upset win at Stanford in the first meeting. That's why you play the game, by the way. And I think California looking to do it again. Now, Stanford has been playing very well. Double overtime loss to Gonzaga. But I think a great matchup. It's going to be the guard play against the inside play of Stanford.
Let's talk about the guard play for just a moment. When Anthony Goods was installed as a starting point guard for the Cardinal, they got a lot better.
Well, they really did, and of course, Goods gives the Cardinal that perimeter shooting. Now, when he is scoring from the outside, all of a sudden it opens up for the Lopez twins inside. So Goods, a pivotal player. If he can get it going from deep, it makes the Cardinal obviously a better team.
And we talk about California for just a moment. And the last time these two teams hooked up, as we said, it was not a good matchup, but Ayinde Ibaka took care of all of that.
Well, Ayinde just had a marvelous game. I mean, he was superb. He had 26 in that win at Stanford and really did it all. So Ibaka's a guy that can really perform at a very high level, and the Bears will need guard play tonight.
No question, they're going to need the crowd here tonight, too. I think it's a better Stanford team that California is going to be seeing today than it was the team that they saw on January 3rd. It's the Bears and the Cardinal. Always a great game. We're coming back.
Honey, I think I found the problem.
Want an easy way to keep your engine clean? Use 76 Quality Pro Clean gasolines. They meet the tough standards to help keep your engine running its best. 76 Quality Pro Clean gasolines.
Wake up your taste buds with our delicious chili cheese fries. Now just $1.29. Only at Wiener Schnitzel, where we're pushing the boundaries of taste.
Pac-10 College Hoops on FSN is brought to you by Red Lobster, for the seafood lover in you. And by Polaris Ranger, hardest working, smoothest riding. And we welcome you back to Berkeley as the California Golden Bears and the Stanford Cardinal prepare to tee it off. Stanford coming off, as Dan mentioned, a tough double overtime loss on Wednesday night to Gonzaga. Not an embarrassing loss, though. California, meanwhile, has lost 3 games in a row, so they've got to get things turned around in a big hurry. Here's how Stanford comes to the dance. Lawrence Hill was absolutely sensational early in that game Wednesday night. The Lopez twins both start. We talked about Anthony Goods and the senior, Fred Washington. Of course, coached ably by Trent Johnson. Trent has come over here from Nevada, picking up from where Mike Montgomery left off, and you can see 48 up and 34 down in his 3 years here at Stanford. Now it's his team, his players. For California, Patrick Christopher, a freshman. Theo Robertson, sophomore. Ryan Anderson, we'll talk a little bit more about him. Probably the surprise of the Pac-10 Conference this year, with Omar Wilkes and Ayinde Ibaka, who just lit it up the last time these two teams hooked up. Ben Braun, Now in his 11th year. Hard to believe Ben's been here 11 years.
Well, Ben's really did a great job here, and he's a little bit short this year. Certainly injuries have played a part in it, and you'd certainly like to have some Jordan Wilkes, and you'd like to have some of his guys back. But injuries have been a big factor.
He's short, literally and figuratively. His two bigs, of course, Jordan Wilkes on the bench, Devon Harden on the bench, both with injuries, perhaps season-ending injuries. It is definitely for Wilkes, and whether or not Harden makes it back at the end of the year is still very iffy, but he is here tonight. We saw him, and he's in a boot. You saw right there the keys to the game, and we can talk about that a little bit.
Well, we can, Barry, and I think it's really key for Stanford to shoot it well on the perimeter, and for California, they've got to basically rebound the ball. They cannot allow second efforts around the goal, so it's going to be a big, huge issue because you know exactly where Stanford's going to go with it. They're going to try to penetrate low.
Here's Hill outside, missed his first shot. He made his first 6 the other night against Gonzaga. We're going to get pushed underneath against Ryan Anderson. And that's very costly. The Bears, of course, cannot afford to get Ryan Anderson in foul trouble. And Stanford will take it right to him.
Yeah, Barry, I thought another real big key for California is controlling tempo. They've got to do a pretty good job of trying to maximize every possession. Now, again, see, that is going to be the philosophy of the Cardinals, driving right at the goal. And as you mentioned, if you can pick up 2 fouls on Anderson, you know, with Devon Harden out, they don't have Jordan Wilkes. Eric Vernisil may be available to play sometime tonight. California just, you know, not very deep. They have no one to put in.
That was Fred Washington on that last basket for the Cardinal. Now Ibaka will back it out. I would expect the Bears to try to use the clock, limit the possessions of the Cardinal. Here's Ibaka. It's blocked. And when you start talking about Stanford and block shots, saying it's blocked becomes redundant. 19 of them against USC.
Yeah, 19, and of course, Brook Lopez had 12 all by himself.
And the Lopez twins the other night against Gonzaga had a combined 9.
It's a pretty good career for some guys. Okay, they're trying to front, go right over the top. See, I thought a great read.
A nice pass, too.
You'd better put a little bit of pressure on the ball and not allow that passer all night to just throw the ball in there. Otherwise, it could be a long night for California.
Well, Robertson had a good look, couldn't convert it. Now the Cardinals with a chance to take a 6 or 7-0 lead. There's Hill stepping in. Tried to drop that down for Robin Lopez. Ibaka steps in front. There's Robertson again. Tried to dish it that time to Wilkes coming off the baseline and threw it away.
All right, Barry, here's the last play. Look at the seal. They seal right in there and go right over the top. Look at no help on the weak side at all. And then they just finalize the play. So you've got to do a good job of rotating defensively and get a guy over there. Well, we've seen this before, haven't we?
Yes, we have. We've seen it twice in this game already, too. Brook Lopez is really starting to get his offensive feel. This is a guy, remember, had back surgery not long before the season started. He's still not 100%.
Yeah, I don't think he still has great lift. I watch him in warm-ups, and he's not exploding all the way to the basket like Robin. So look out when he gets totally healthy.
All 6 Stanford points have come in the paint, and this time they're going to get Robin Lopez.
I think the mindset, if you're Trent Johnson, is take a look at whom Anderson is guarding. And you might want to just focus the ball right there. If you can pick up the second foul on Anderson and you get him out of the game, California obviously loses major firepower.
And it's Brook Lopez. Very tough matchup for Anderson. Anderson is being asked to play out of position to begin with. That's it. Well, I thought they'd call that a kick, but they'll say it's not a kick, so there'll be 9 seconds left on the shot clock.
Well, Ryan Anderson has come a long way this year. I think he under the radar in terms of recruiting, and has arrived in California. He's had a stellar freshman year.
No question. A little reverse by Washington. We may get no help.
Yeah, and Ben Braun right now, he's got to be thinking, hey guys, you know, it's 8-0. You know, we need to get our act together. So much for controlling the tempo. Yeah, if you're California, now you have to play a little bit quicker.
There's Ibaka. Ibaka leaves for Wilkes. Wilkes puts it on the floor, puts it up over Goods, a little short. Robin Lopez rebounded. Now a chance to really open it up here for the Cardinals. There's Lopez again. He didn't make the catch that time. He had a gimme basket if he was able to hold on. Bears coming the other way. Patrick Christopher. Now Anderson for three. And Robin Lopez with another rebound.
Imagine another year of maturity for Robin and Brooke Lopez. I mean, they're just kind of learning the game right now. I mean, they're just coming into their own. And we thought the Cardinal had great upside. They got off to a big lead, don't forget, against Gonzaga, and then wilted a bit.
That's right.
As the Zags came right back on it.
Robin Lopez missed the turnaround. Here's Robertson coming the other way, and Robinson scores for the Bears. They're first. Washington now working on Wilkes. Here's Hill. They drop it down again. There's no question what the game plan is, as you mentioned. There's low to high and Hill with a three.
No, and that's what low to high does. You drop it low, and all of a sudden you sag a little bit, and Hill's a terrific outside player.
Robertson, quick three-point try.
One and out, isn't it, for California?
Yeah, it is. But again, Washington drives, now leaves for Hill for three. Got another one. I'll tell you, Hill, we keep talking about improved players in the Pac-10 Conference, and certainly there are a lot of them. But you got to put Hill right in the middle of it.
Yeah, he really is. He's right near the top of the list.
That time a nice screen, nice move without the ball, but no finish by Ibaka. He gets it back.
I thought Marty Lunan has made big strides, and maybe the whole Washington State team.
Well, yeah,
Kyle Weaver's been terrific.
Anderson again. Anderson misses, and Brooke Lopez runs it down. Fast break opportunity for Stanford, but they let it go astray. It's a 14-2 Stanford lead. Stanford off on a 6 of 8 run from the field. California, 1 of 8. We're coming back.
Automatic wipers that adapt to the uncontrollable. A tire monitor that adapts to the unseen. Headlights that adapt to the unknown. Ultimately, a vehicle that adapts to you.
Rodeo Drive, the epitome of beauty, taste, and style. This is the confidence you'll discover in yourself after visiting Rodeo Drive Plastic Surgery. Rodeo Drive Plastic Surgery delivers cutting-edge techniques at reasonable prices. Rodeo Drive Plastic Surgery, the only plastic surgery center on the world's most glamorous boulevard. This is the place you've been looking for. Call 310-550-6300 today to schedule a consultation.
The new Augustus Tower. Everything evolves, including Caesar's Palace.
FSN Final Score presented by DirecTV.
You're watching FSN West.
One of the top guards in Cal's history, Russ Critchfield scored 20 or more points 41 different times during his Cal career and still ranks 8th on the school's all-time scoring list. He earned first-team Helms Athletic Foundation All-America honors in '68 and was an honorable mention All-America selection during his junior campaign.
And Danny, of course, you and I remember Russ Critchfield.
Sure do.
Remember him fondly. I mean, I think before the term gym rat was a cliche, he was a gym rat.
Let me say this. I tell you, Russ was a tremendous player at California, and nice to have him honored into the Hall of Honors. You see the slow start for California. They just cannot find it. And Stanford, 6 of 8, doing 6 of 9 now. Not California. Ben Braun, after this timeout, regroup his guys. Going to make a few changes in the lineup, getting Randall in there, and see if they can do a little bit of damage. All their shots have been on the outside there. Now, Ibaka had one all the way to the basket and couldn't finalize.
There's Wilkes. They'll jump out and defend. Omar Wilkes has been shooting it very well beyond the arc. Now Christopher. This is off the front rim, and Anthony Goods will control this rebound. Anthony Goods very quiet for, well, about 45 minutes of that game the other night, and then he had about 13 quick points for Stanford in a losing effort. Brook Lopez, just too easy.
It's a great read. It's a great read by Stanford. They're recognizing the fact they have the over the top, and it's hard to give any help from the weak side because the guys are really positioned well for the Cardinals.
And you saw another rejection and another one, even though Robinson somehow managed to hold on to the ball and get it up off the window and in. Washington that time is fouled. They'll get Robertson on the foul. So watch this. Watch Lopez block.
Well, here's the block. And of course, you said the term block and the Cardinal have become a redundant term. And that's a great move right there by Robertson to get it blocked and have that presence of mind to continue the play and get it down.
So Fred Washington will go to the free throw line. His team leading by 12. Freddie knocks it down. He's got 5 in the ball game to go with a couple of assists. Now Stanford will go a little bit smaller as Mitch Johnson comes in. So that means Mitch Johnson will move to the point. Anthony Goods will move to the off guard position.
Yeah, remember, Barry, in the Gonzaga game, when Gonzaga went zone, I thought it slowed Stanford down, and California going to go it, and they're going to back off some of their outside guys and hope to get a little bit of help. Now, of course, now you're down 17-4, and you better do a pretty good job if you're the Bears at this end. Some of these have to go down.
Nothing is for California. Goods with the rebound, and Stanford only giving the Bears one shot. California has not made a shot beyond the arc yet. They're 0 for 4. There's Mitch Johnson. All of a sudden, Mitch Johnson has remembered how to score, and that too has been a huge help.
Well, he's been proactive, and I think that's exactly, you know, what he has to do. So, I mean, Mitch Johnson, I mean, you like the fact that he's looking for it and doing a real nice job. So they're going to get a little bit of penetration, and then they're going to kick it out to Johnson. Okay, stop it here. Look at that. They get everybody here. They're going to get it to Johnson. He's going to go ahead and follow it in. But what I like about it, Barry, he's looking for his shot. He's kind of in rhythm, saying, okay, I know they're zoning, and I'm sure Trent Johnson said, fine, you know, go ahead and get your confidence up and think you can make it.
And Randall converts for California. Now, the Bears, of course, at the free throw line better than anybody in the country. Vernisol is going to come into the lineup for the first time since rolling an ankle. And that was about 2.5 weeks ago.
A tough break for California. You know, Eric had been playing very well. I mean, they lost Jordan Wilkes. They lost Devon Harden. By the way, we saw Devon Harden walking around here, Barry. You know, I mean, he's in the soft cast right now. Well, that's a steal and a score the Bears sorely needed.
And a great steal, incidentally, by Robertson. Took it right away from Robin Lopez.
Interesting enough, Johnson makes that shot, and they're not in the zone anymore, are they? California got him right out of that zone, back man-to-man.
There's Goods. Ibaka controls the rebound. Now the Bears have a chance to get a couple of baskets back-to-back here. There's Brian Anderson outside. He brings Robin Lopez with him.
And if you're Robin Lopez, you have to honor that shot, or the shot attempt out there and get up on it.
There's Randall again.
How do you like it? Wow. Well, that'll get you back in it in a hurry.
Randall gave his team a lift in a 3-point loss to USC last week, and the Bears now on a 6-0 run. Anthony Goods again with a good look, but he missed off the left side. Vernisol snatches the rebound. Now Randall. There's Vernisol to the basket.
Oh, what a move. Just didn't get it down.
Yeah, great move.
Big time move, just couldn't finish.
Ed Brown said he didn't want to have to play Vernisol too much because he'd rather have him for the long run than for him to play on an ankle. It's not quite yet 100%. Here's Washington down low. Great effort and one. Great job by Washington.
A veteran move by Fred Washington. Kind of switched hands and felt the contact and made a beautiful move with the right hand.
Stanford leads it by 12, 22-10. We're coming back.
You see a place that's alive with purpose and passion. You see a place inspired by a long tradition of untraditional excellence. You see a place built by the people, for the people of California, the nation, and the world. What do you see? You see Berkeley.
Here's how it works. Get the nation's slimmest smartphone for only $99.99. theCUBE. With easy access to email and Windows Mobile. It's the stylish way to work. From Verizon Wireless, America's most reliable wireless broadband network. Verizon Wireless, it's the network.
Your guide to the ultimate adventure vacation is here. Destination Wild, presented by Jeep. Join host Courtney Hansen for the series from Moore & Miller Productions that takes you to the country's most thrilling vacation sites. On the next Destination Wild, saddle up for a ride through the Wild Wild West as Courtney takes you steer wrestling, roping, and barrel racing in one of Tucson's biggest rodeos. Monday on FSN. Log on to DestinationWildTV.com and enter to win a Destination Wild trip of your own.
Stanford's led it all the way. They lead it by 12 now, just under 11 minutes remaining first half.
Well, and California does a great job. Watch on this free throw. Here's a move that gets him back in the game. A missed free throw, and then a great job by Robertson. Look, he just steals the ball. And then he pitches it back for a quick score. So that's like you miss free throws, you get it right back, you score it. It gave the Bears a little bit of momentum. Followed that up with a three. They're still down 12, but don't forget it was, I think, what, 17-4.
And how about Fred Washington? I mean, you mentioned he's a senior, and he's really showing all that stuff we always talk about.
Yeah, you look at Fred's line. He missed that free throw, but he was 3 out of 3 from the field, 8 points, 3 assists. So, you know, he's really doing a nice job. Now the Cardinal going to show zone. Nope, man-to-man. Kind of faked me out, Barry. I thought it was zone. No, they're back man-to-man. This is Robertson to the basket. Tough shot. You know, he's got to be the best 6'5", 4-man in the country. I mean, he plays 4. You know, he's like a power forward, and the guy's only 6'5". Kind of like a Charles Barkley type. Just take it in and power through everybody.
Well, that's one of the things that what's befallen the Bears is that they now have to play at least 2 players out of position. Anderson's out of position. Robertson's out of position. That's because of the injuries to the big men. Crowd wanted a foul on that last sequence. They're not going to get it.
Going to get Brook Lopez with a travel. And I think in that situation, you know that Harrison is trying to do a good job inside, and he's holding position. And he's a guy that's going to scrap. I thought that was no foul. I think he just slipped in that particular situation and got tangled up. There's going to be a little bit of a war between Lopez and Harrison.
Yeah, I think so.
Of course, not now. He's out of the game. Didn't take long for Anderson to come back.
No, it didn't. Now Anderson has to deal with Brook Lopez. Only one of the Lopez brothers in the game right now. Here is Anderson working on Brook Lopez. Took the extra step.
That's what they do to you because a guy like Brook and Robin are great shot blockers. You just cannot take the ball up with a single move.
Well, you just can't challenge them. I mean, I'll ask Taj Gibson about challenging the Stanford big men. USC freshman got rejected about 10 times. Anthony Goods.
Doing a good job to jump out on Ibaka and force him to take a shot maybe 2 or 3 feet longer than he would like, but credit the defense of the Cardinal that time.
And interesting, too, Anderson had position on that rebound, but Brook Lopez just over the top that much bigger. That's an offensive foul. Good job by Ryan Anderson.
I think in that situation, Brook is trying to take everything to the goal. He can't just turn around with his size and bank it in, but he's intent on going to the basket.
Now Robin Lopez replacing Brooke Lopez. There's Lopez's everywhere. And Trent's going to go over and say probably exactly what you just said.
You just turn around and shoot the 8-footer. He is that good where he can do that. And you look at the turnover story, about even. Got to get Anderson on track if you're California. And Ibaka. Those are the two players that have to start performing offensively for Cal to get back in this game.
There's Ibaka, throws up a wild right-hander. Anderson gets it back, block, gets it back again.
You know the thing you really love about Ryan Anderson, Barry? He's got great hands. When he touches the ball, it never leaves his hands. He always grasps the ball and he'll make a solid play.
First score of the game for Ryan Anderson, the Bears' leading scorer. There's Robin Lopez, falls away. And Randall, smallest man on the floor, finally gets it out of there for the Bears. The Bears' chance to get this now to single digits. Anderson missed a shot he normally will make, and Goods clears. Robin Lopez again, a little jump hook. Taj Finger has it taken away again by Randall, gets it back, puts it up, rejected by Anderson. Robinson gets it out of there for the Bears. They got numbers 3-on-2. Here comes Omar Wilkes, leaves it for Randall, open three. Got it.
I think Stanford's waiting for California.
Yeah,
they've had a few opportunities. Now a 13-4 run.
And it's got the crowd in the game. Here's Wilkes stepping in front.
Oh, here come the Bears.
Bears down by 7 with the ball, and all of a sudden the whole game has changed. Here's Ibaka. Kick out. Omar Wilkes.
They're going to do it again. You bet they are. They're going to do it one more time.
Well, they missed their first 4 from three-point range. They've been on fire since. And just like that, it's a 4-point ball game.
And Barry in hurt. Wasn't this just like 17-4 not long ago?
I think it was 20-4, actually.
Boy, that's just a great kick out by Ibaka, and Omar Wilkes with a beautiful look. That's 2 penetration and kicks the last time down. And again, a great read to get it all the way. That's not an easy play. That little cross-court move.
What a reminder that coming up February 18th, the world's best drivers are coming back to Fox. They'll go door-to-door to see who'll take home the checkered flag in the 49th running of the Great American Race. It begins February 18th. Fox Sports, the exclusive home of the Daytona 500. What a great event.
It sure is. Daytona 500 on Fox.
Now the Straw Hat Band has got the folks here at Oz Pavilion jacked up. And when this place gets going, it is a very, very difficult place. And quite honestly, we haven't seen it too many times like it is right now in the last couple of years.
And Ben Braun coming out of that timeout is going to give Stanford a little different look. 3/4 court press.
There's Mitch Johnson. He's going to miss it off the left side. Robin Lopez fights for the rebound with Alex Pribble. Jump ball call. And a possession arrow is going to stay with the stand. Well, they're going to call a foul. I beg your pardon. I thought he called the jump ball. They'll call a foul on Alex Pribble instead. We'll take a timeout. 4-point lead Stanford.
It's Jumbo Shrimp at Red Lobster, starting at $11.99. Choose from 5 irresistible dishes, like hand-breaded Jumbo Crunch Fried or mouth-watering Jumbo Scampi. For limited time, only at Red Lobster.
Honey, I think I found the problem.
Want an easy way to keep your engine clean? Use 76 Quality Pro Clean gasolines. They meet the tough standards to help keep your engine running its best. 76 Quality Pro Clean gasolines.
It's Jumbo Shrimp at Red Lobster, starting at $11.99. Choose from 5 irresistible dishes, like hand-breaded Jumbo Crunch Fried or mouth-watering Jumbo Scampi. For limited time, only at Red Lobster.
Check it out. All net.
Whatever.
Enter the 76 free throw giveaway, and you could win a chance to shoot 4 free throws during the Pacific Life Pac-10 basketball tournament.
Can we go now?
Each shot is worth big money. Make all 4, and you'll take home $76,000. For that kind of money, you could trade up almost anything.
I'm bored.
The 76 Gas $76,000 free throw giveaway.
Stanford leads it by 4 with 6:26 left. That's the California women's basketball team looking on here. They'll be able to stay till halftime. They have their matchup of their version of the big game against the Stanford women. No easy task there down at Maples Pavilion tomorrow. You can watch it on FSN, most of you.
Barry, here's the kick out. This is Omar Wilkes. He draws the defense. Here's your shooter right here. They just do a great job of getting everybody inside. And look at Randall. He just steps behind the line. And the catalyst, Jerome Randall, is really giving California a big lift. So he's only averaging 6 a game. He's got 9 in this one.
There's Anthony Goods, little pump fake. Now drop it down to Robin Lopez. He draws a crowd. Lawrence Hill missed it long, but there's Washington, the rebound, the putback. Washington has just been everywhere.
It's a tough matchup for Omar Wilkes. He's trying to screen out, but just can't do it. You see 1 of 8. Remember that 1 of 8 they started. But lately the Bears 7 of 15.
And Washington with 10 points for the Cardinal. The lead is 6. This is Alex Pribble. And Ben Brown talks about Alex Pribble, a walk-on, as probably the toughest player on his team. Omar Wilkes going to have to do some business here. 5 on the shot clock, 4 on the shot clock. Ibaka throws up an off-balance shot. It won't go. And there's Brooke Lopez with the rebound.
And California's done well over the years, haven't they, with walk-ons? Remember Ryan Forehand Kelly, who was, he was a productive player here at California at walk-ons. And later learned a scholarship.
There's that face-up shot that we saw the other night against Gonzaga. Brooke Lopez very capable of that.
He's very skilled. I mean, he shot that with ease, and he can make that shot. He started the Gonzaga game with a long tray, so he's capable facing the goal.
He's got 8 in this ball game. There's Indi Ibaka again. Now Patrick Christopher going to drive on Hill. Tough off-balance shot. And there's Lopez again with a rebound. Brooke Lopez.
Well, they got a real mismatch. Pribble, that's really a tough cover. Now they got Anderson. Now back to his zone. So they're going to zone it and try to hope the Cardinal misses from the perimeter.
There's Robin Lopez working on Anderson. Anderson picked up a quick foul, none since. Anthony Goods, 3. And a rebound to Ibaka. Here come the Bears. Alex Pribble thought about it. Now he drops it down to Ibaka, posting Goods up. Kick out to Omar Wilkes. Wilkes the floater in the lane.
Well, you love to see Wilkes go to the goal. He's a guy that has relied on his perimeter game, but as he's maturing, he has to put the ball on the ground and make the defense play him honest and go to the basket. That was a solid move by Wilkes.
And it's back to a 6-point ball game. Here's Robin Lopez. Lopez over Anderson. Can't get the roll. Christopher the rebound. Omar Wilkes again. Draws a crowd. Leaves for Anderson. Anderson has it tapped away by Lopez. And then gets it up and in and one. Great hands. And we'll take a timeout. Bears with opportunity to get closer than they have been since the very beginning of this ball game. Don't go away.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours. It's better than yours. I could teach you, but I have to charge. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours. My milkshake.
Mint chip, hand scoop, shakes and malts. New at Carl's Jr.
Each note comes alive, as though it were performed live. This is the experience of the Infinity Studio on Wheels, inside the all-new Infinity G. Sound beyond machine.
The midnight set sail and landed on a
My mistake. To me, you're not supposed to be the palm tree. You're Sinbad.
What are you doing? That's my kid. Sorry. Great, thank you.
Sinbad set sail and
Well, Stanford leads by 4, but the Bears with an opportunity to get it to 3 points, closer than they've been since the get-go. Here's our Pac-10 Conference Player of the Week. You're watching him tonight, too. Brook Lopez, the U.S. Bank Player of the Week for his tremendous play in the wins over UCLA and USC.
Now, Brook was just outstanding, and you talked about all the blocks he had, and look what he did. I mean, only a freshman, 12.5, 9 rebounds, 6.5 blocks. So, Brook Lopez, our U.S. Bank Player of the Week, and well-deserved. He just had a magnificent weekend in the wins against USC and UCLA.
Well, he had 12 blocks in that game.
Yeah.
What I find interesting, the former record was 6.
Hello. 12?
Ibaka, he struggled the last time we saw him, and struggling a bit again tonight.
Yeah, Indes had he has not scored. He's 0 for 5. He has 4 assists, which I think obviously speaks well for him. But he's got to get going offensively.
Anderson could not convert the three-point play, and it remains a 4-point ball game. There's Brook Lopez, little jump hook that time. He's got a very nice shooting touch.
He's got an array of shots. This guy's multi-talented. Face up, got the jump hook. You front him, he's got the great hands. He goes over never brings the ball down. That's why he was the Player of the Week.
Yeah.
U.S. Bank Player of the Week.
Yeah.
That's exactly why.
He had 20 points the other night against Gonzaga. Tyler Harrison off balance, can't get it. Follow Anderson, no. Again, Anderson, no. And finally, Lawrence Hill will get it out of there for the Cardinals.
Okay, you got to get on the ground. Get after
it. Timeout. And it's going to be a jump ball call and a possession arrow. It's going to be California's. I think Lawrence Hill was trying to call a timeout, but there's so many people around, the officials couldn't hear it.
I don't suspect Ryan Anderson will sit for long, so this puts an immense amount of pressure on a guy maybe like Wilkes on the outside. Yeah, you see the leading scorers with Lopez and Washington, and Randall coming off the bench, by the way, with the 9. Now, he can be electrifying from the perimeter.
He's going to try it again.
He's on fire.
How about? Well, we mentioned Randall and Pribble came off the bench to key a California comeback last week against USC. It fell 3 points short, but they were the 2 players who were instrumental. He's 3 of 4 for three-point range tonight. Going to get Randall on the foul this time. Well, I remember early in the year, Ben Brown waxing effusively about Randall.
Yeah, he really was, and Jerome Randall's a guy that can really do a great job from the outside. I mean, he's a very good perimeter player. He and Tawan Porter from Oregon, 2 guys that, very small, but they get their shot off. And they're quick enough to freeze you defensively. They make it, that's a pretty good defensive play also.
Yeah, it sure was. A lot of guys hitting the ground here, I'll tell you that.
Barry, here's the play before. You got to get up tight with him here because he's a guy that can burn you from the out. Look see that between the leg move freezes the defense. And then all of a sudden, he just needs just a little bit of room to get the shot off.
And now Trent Johnson will counter with Vince Weatherby coming into the ballgame. He's another guy who's a walk-on and has been very productive for the Cardinal.
There's Jerome Randall out of Chicago.
And let me correct myself, Carlton Weatherby.
Remember Sean
it's a miss and a rebound by Goods.
I was going to say, Barry, remember Sean Lampley, who played here at California, Pac-10 Player of the Year, also from the Chicago area. So Ben Braun's done a pretty good job of recruiting the Midwest.
Sean sitting courtside right at midcourt. All-time leading scorer. There's Brooke Lopez again, a fall away, and just a sweet touch.
And well defended. And that's a good, boy, there's going to be some classic matchups with Ryan Anderson and the Lopez twins before they're finished.
And now Ben Braun wants a timeout with 46 seconds remaining. 20-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. And it is a 5-point ball game right now. So Ben Braun will talk this over with his team. Brooke Lopez so far 12 points, 6 of 8 from the floor, and they haven't all been easy shots. As you said, the last one absolutely was contested.
Well, he's had some very, very difficult shots, and he's rebounded the ball. He's had a block, and he's done a beautiful job at both ends of the floor. So quick timeout. Now remember here that Stanford does have some fouls to take.
Well, remember that Stanford led this ball game 20-4 at one point. Bears have outscored them 23-12 since the 12:30 mark. You really got to give it up for the Bears. I mean, it would have been very easy for them just to fold the tent and go quietly into the night. And of course, they haven't. Not only have they not done that, I mean, they're right in this ball game now. Well, coming up at halftime, we're going to Greg Wolf, who's sitting in the studio just waiting to get started. We'll look at the week ahead, highlights and stats. Here's Goods with a rebound. Now Weatherby will bring it across. It's a very physical game so far. The officials, to their credit, letting these guys play. Brooke Lopez, fall away again, scored and won.
Yeah, and not a good foul there by Ryan Anderson. Well, what a tough shot by Brooke Lopez.
Brooke Lopez will go to the line. He's got 14 points in the ball game to go with 4 rebounds. He's 7 of 9 from the field, and we were saying this earlier, Dan, but the shots that he's taken from the field are not easy.
No, and that last one, a little fadeaway, and if you're a California fan, you're just hoping Ryan Anderson holds position. He didn't. He bumped up a bit. He picks up the second foul, and he'll come out. But you're right. But Brooke Lopez has really been the answer as California's made their run. And the Bears, I think, made a good run with Jerome Randall coming off the bench. And you see the second personal foul there on Ryan Anderson, and he really hasn't gotten on track at the offensive end either.
So now Brooke Lopez will leave, and Peter Prout will replace him with 23 seconds left. The Bears will play it for the last shot here.
Now remember, there's only 14 fouls on the Cardinal. Now they have 2 fouls to take without California shooting. So as the clock winds down, they may want to take a strategic foul just to slow California down. Doesn't look like they're going to do it though.
Good screen that time by Robertson, and Ibaka scores. And Goods not going to get this off. Won't count even if it goes. It does not go, and the first half comes to an end. A 6-point ball game, and it kind of falls into the who to thunk it category because the Bears trailed Stanford by 16 early in the ball game, 20-4. We come to the half, 35 rather than 29 Stanford. After these messages, we'll go to Los Angeles, get a studio update on the Pac-10 College Hoops with Greg Wolf.
Let me show you how I work.
Here's how it works. Get the nation's slimmest smartphone for only $99.99. The Q. With easy access to email and Windows Mobile. It's the stylish way to work. From Verizon Wireless, America's most reliable wireless broadband network. Verizon Wireless, it's the network.
Join Best Western Speed Rewards and earn valuable points or miles at any Best Western hotel. Points are redeemable for all sorts of rewards, including exclusive NASCAR licensed merchandise. Join today at bestwesternracing.com.
Thank you so much for bringing me here. I really love it here. Like, first impression, would you marry me?
There's so many different things about me that I do not like.
I'm a princess, and I deserve to be treated like one.
Miranda's not happy. Perhaps Jason could show some interest in how Miranda is feeling.
I like peanuts. I like cashews, especially candied.
Like, my life is so not together right now.
Chestnuts, pine nuts, anything in a trail mix.
You know who would love to meet you? My mom. She's here. Mommy?
Tired of bad dates? Imagine how much time and money you'd save if you invested just 30 minutes to fill out the eHarmony online questionnaire. Because once we get to know you, we can connect you with other singles who have been pre-screened for compatibility with you. So on your first eHarmony date, you'll have so much in common. And that's the beginning of a great relationship. It all starts with your eHarmony personality profile, free when you log on to eHarmony.com today.
Northside, Southside, Uptown, Downtown, Upstate, Downpour. On the town, on the run, way off the beaten path. Acceleration, navigation, off-road, on-road, safe, secure, and spacious. 7 passengers, 6 days, 5 suitcases, 400 miles, 3 inches of rain, 2 stops in paradise, 1 extraordinary vehicle.
No matter what the circumstance, you'll always want to take your Land Rover LR3. Designed for the...
And now, a Roadrunner secret.
Well, when I'm online, my password is...
Only my friends know my screen name. Is really me.
Roadrunner High-Speed Online's free security with antivirus, anti-spam, and firewall protection keeps you safe online.
Because if I want you to have... I'll send it to you.
Call 1-800-ROADRUNNER and get your first 12 months for as low as $19.95 per month.
Start something new with Roadrunner High-Speed Online from Time Warner Cable.
Pennies, nickels, dimes, we're always getting change. What if instead of throwing it on your dresser, you invested it in her? What if you used it to change her life? Sponsor a child through Christian Children's Fund. In fact, call right now, and ask for the picture of one little boy or girl who needs you. What we don't give a second thought to can change a life.
FSN Final Score presented by DirecTV.
You're watching FSN West.
It's halftime in Berkeley as number 23 Stanford has a fight on their hands with rivals the Cal Bears. Welcome to the Pac-10 College Hoops Halftime. I'm Greg Wolf. Time to get you caught up on some earlier Pac-10 action, beginning with 5th-ranked UCLA. The Bruins handled the seemingly tougher task of number 9 Oregon Thursday night, but Coach Ben Howland said of lowly Oregon State, yeah, he's concerned. Howland not wanting his team to get caught napping against the Beavers, and they wouldn't be. They got off to a great start. Up top, Michael rolled to Josh Shipp for the jam, then Aaron Aflalo to Luke Richard Mbamute. Bruins leading by 30 at halftime. They let a big lead slip away on the road at Stanford last week. That wasn't going to happen this time. Bruins win 82-35 the final. Oregon trying to avoid a sweep here in Southern California, facing USC in the second half. Chamberlain Aguchi for 3. He ties the game up at 54. Still in the second, Taj Gibson for SC with the block. Other end, it's Daniel Hackett with the lay-in. And the Trojans have a 5-point lead. 4.6 seconds left. Oregon down 3. Aaron Brooks wide open look. Hits the front of the rim, and USC upsets number 9 Oregon 71-68. Elsewhere in the Pac-10, number 18 Washington State barely avoiding the upset in Tempe, while number 20 Arizona got a much-needed home win over the Huskies. Remember, for more on those games and the rest of today's action, be sure to tune in to the FSN Final Score presented by DirecTV. It's coming up in most regions immediately following the game. But first, we go back to Berkeley. Barry Tompkins and Dan Belwamini with the call.
Join Best Western Speed Rewards and earn valuable points or miles at any Best Western hotel. Points are redeemable for all sorts of rewards, including exclusive NASCAR licensed merchandise. Join today at bestwesternracing.com.
Hey, Mom. I'm at Jimmy's house. Can I stay for dinner? Yes, his parents are home. Yeah, dinner. Hold on. She doesn't believe me.
Carol? Yeah, we're all having dinner. Together.
A real meal on a weeknight? What a shocker. Pick up a 9-piece bucket of the Colonel's famous drumsticks and thighs, the juiciest, most flavorful chicken, now only $6.99. And don't forget the 99-cent KFC fish snacker. Bring back dinner at KFC.
With 16 different models, Toyota's got the car, truck, or SUV you want. With cash back, low APRs, and special leases, your Toyota dealer's got the deal you need. That's why we say, we make it easy.
Whoa, check out the traffic on the 5.
Yeah, that's lame.
You know what's not lame? This.
Where'd you learn that?
Bear Mountain. I'm eating 3 billion of my buddies there. Want to be 3 billion in one?
Whatever. I'm headed to Snow Summit. Besides, I can already do this. See ya!
She wants me.
Snow. Now arriving at Big Bear.
Angels fans can't wait to see the 2007 Angels that come out to Angel Stadium of Anaheim on February 10th and 11th for the exciting return of Angels Fan Fest. Backed by popular demand, this exclusive Angels event gives Angels fans the opportunity to meet your favorite Angels players and coaches. Don't miss out on autographs, food, games, music, and a photo opportunity with the Rally Monkey. Tickets are now on sale, so be sure to visit angelsbaseball.com for details.
The racing scene roars into California Speedway February 24th and 25th, and you are there for an adrenaline-filled weekend of race excitement. Thanks to FSN West and California Speedway. Just send an email to fullthrottleweekend@foxsports.net, and you could win tickets to the big race, pit and party zone passes, VIP parking, and FSN prize packs. If you want to get to the race, you gotta go full throttle. Enter today.
35-29 ball game. The Stanford Cardinal leading the California Golden Bears. But remember, it was a 20-4 game. Right out of the box, Stanford was leading the Bears. So the Bears snuck back into it, trail now by 6 at the half. More hoops coming your way on Thursday night. Pac-10 basketball coming back to FSN. It'll be the same California Golden Bears. They take the show on the road. They go to Seattle to do battle with the hungry Washington Huskies. Coverage beginning Thursday, 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific, right here on FSN. And Florida State and Duke, of course, in the ACC Sunday night hoops. That's coming your way tomorrow. So there's all kinds of hoops to talk about. Next week, of course, plenty of great basketball. We'll be at Washington for California on Thursday night. Saturday, number 5 UCLA. They're going to go all the way across the country to do battle with West Virginia. Of course, Arizona and Oregon, a very big game, particularly so for the Wildcats.
Oh, a huge game. That should be a very good one. Then Stanford, of course, finishes up on Sunday. So they're going to be up in the Northwest quite a while. And, of course, the women's games also, Barry, UCLA at USC, Washington State at Stanford.
Speaking of women's games, we got a great one coming your way tomorrow. We get underway at 1 o'clock out here on the left coast. It's the Battle of the Bay, California and Stanford. And California, well, they haven't beaten Stanford in I don't know how many moons, but they feel pretty confident, even though they got to play down at Maples Pavilion. Of course, nobody's beaten Stanford in the Pac-10 Conference amongst the women. Candace Wiggins, Devontae Hampton, two outstanding players, both all-conference, maybe all-American players. Candace Wiggins, I just love. I love her on the court, I love her off the court. Just tremendous player. Tara Vanderveer's team, outstanding. But the Cal Bear women playing very, very well. 6-point lead for Stanford at the half.
When my brother started selling auto insurance, I got a little pressure to use them.
A little? I'm State Farm Agent Amy Kaplan, and this is a true story.
I didn't pressure you. I think blood is thicker than water.
So was some of his staff. We switched from State Farm to him.
The service is horrible.
Well, he wouldn't call me back, and he's my brother.
So I called him, and he was ready to switch back.
State Farm treated us like family.
Yeah, better.
Great service and great rates, it's all here. Nobody takes care of you like State Farm. Call an agent today.
Like a good neighbor?
State Farm is there.
Each note comes alive, as though it were performed live. This is the experience of the Infinity Studio on Wheels, inside the all-new Infinity G. Sound.
6 out of 10 Americans are now in debt. If your credit card bills are piling up and your balance just isn't going down, call Consolidated Credit now. They'll get the credit card companies to reduce or eliminate your interest. They're the freedom people.
Only Consolidated Credit has the Freedom Quest program. Call now. 1-800-440-5292. 440-5292.
Consolidated Credit. When credit card debt is the problem, they're the solution.
The new Augustus Tower. Everything evolves, including Caesar's Palace.
Information, log on to pac10.org or call Ticketmaster.
You're watching FSN West.
Welcome back. It's halftime here at Haas Pavilion on the Berkeley campus. 35-29. Stanford leading California. My name's Barry Tompkins. That guy right there is Dan Bellamini. And Danny, we talked about matchups earlier, and we thought that this was a good matchup for Stanford, not so good for Cal. Started out that way, but I'll tell you what, the Bears doing the same thing they did when they beat Stanford against a good matchup the last time.
Well, the Bears have come back, and as you said, the Bears were trailing at 20-4, but they really got it going. But how about the first half by Brook Lopez? I thought he was just sensational, Barry. He did everything you can possibly do. Lopez is a guy that when he gets it back to the back, I love that jump hook. Got a beautiful little soft shot there, and then he has that little fadeaway going all the way to the corner, and very difficult to defend. Now, that time he picked up the second foul on Ryan Anderson. So, you know, Brook Lopez, a terrific job. But Jerome Randall, you talk about a guy that changed the game for California, came in off the bench, picked up 12 points. You know, nice pass there by Ubaka, and Randall made some threes and really got it going. So he did a beautiful job for California, almost single-handedly, I thought, brought the Bears back.
Yeah, tremendous job by him. And I think the other numbers that jump out as we look at Stanford shot at 54% in the first half to 38% for California. Look at the Bears bench scoring, and that was all Randall, 12 points off the bench, and the big rebounding edge, of course, for Stanford. But numbers that really jump out at you, 15 field goals in the first half for Stanford, 13 were assisted, and that's a big factor. We're coming back.
A tradition of courage. A tradition of character, a tradition of champions. Year after year, the student athletes of the Pacific 10 Conference display excellence, not only in the arena of competition, they go on to excel in the arena of life. 10 distinguished institutions with opportunities for higher learning as vast as the Pacific itself. Be a part of a great tradition, the Pacific 10 Conference, the Conference of Champions.
Pride Fighting Championships on FSN. The world's fattest man. Fighting's most unforgettable battles. Featuring lightweight champion Takanori Gomi, Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira, Kevin the Monster Randleman, and undefeated Fedor Emelianenko. Brace yourselves. Be there for the action. Sunday on FSN.
Join Best Western Speed Rewards and earn valuable points or miles at any Best Western hotel. Points are redeemable for all sorts of rewards, including exclusive NASCAR licensed merchandise. Join today at bestwesternracing.com.
Welcome to Ranger Country, with a redesigned Polaris Ranger with electronic fuel injection. Outruns, outcarries, outhauls, outpulls, and outrides every utility vehicle out there. The Polaris Ranger with electronic fuel injection. Polaris Ranger. Hardest working, smoothest riding. For proof, go to PolarisIndustries.com.
We don't build trucks. We engineer them. We don't settle for existing technology. We invent new ways of taking it further. We don't look at innovation as a means to an end, but rather as a way to give you every advantage possible. Because at the end of the day, you're the one in the driver's seat. Honda Trucks. Now get APR financing as low as 0.9% on select Honda trucks for well-qualified buyers.
Pac-10 College Hoops on FSN is brought to you by U.S. Bank. Proud to be the official bank of the Pac-10 and home of the 5-star service guarantee. Visit usbank.com. How many stars does your bank have? And we welcome you back. We prepare to start the second half, and it should be an outstanding half of basketball. Bears trying to pick up where they left off. Stanford trying to get back to where they started.
Yeah, Stanford trying to get off strong. They did in the first half, and they were able to dominate the game inside California. So we can't let that happen again. We got to shore it up defensively and see if we can get a few stops and not get the third foul here on Ryan Anderson.
Little fall away by Lopez. Misses that one. Robertson the rebound. Quick outlet to Ibaka. Ibaka to Christopher to the basket. Well done. Good transition.
And Barry, I got to tell you, I think the mindset for a guy like Brook Lopez, especially with the guy guarding him, has a couple of fouls. Don't settle for the fadeaway. If you get a chance, let's go to the basket and see if you can pick up that third foul. Well, they're not guarding Robin out there, are they?
They didn't score in the first half. His brother at 15. Here's Robin. Why not? Line drive kind of shot. And now the Bears a chance to cut this to 2 or less. Here's Robertson. Robertson drives on Lopez, pulls up. Lopez rejects it. And Brook Lopez finalizes.
Would you call that a double block?
Yeah, I guess you would.
I would call it. Here's the first one. And it's very difficult just to take it right in there. And then you see the second one was knocked out of bounds. And remember, if you're California here, Ibaka and Ryan Anderson have to get in the mix early.
There's Ibaka, drives, puts it up off balance. Anderson follows it in. And it's a 2-point ball game.
I think that was a pass by Ibaka that he shot that intentionally. He felt Robin pressuring, so he said, well, Ryan Anderson's going to have an easy move to follow it in if I miss.
And that time Robinson reaches around and he's called.
Well, we talked about the great hands of Ryan Anderson. Ibaka really caused the play. His penetration forced Robin Lopez to come over for the help. See, Robin Lopez comes for the help, but very difficult for anybody to get back to Ryan Anderson, who, again, showed you why he's such a tremendous player. The hands, gets it up and just follows it in. Out of El Dorado Hills, up in the Sacramento area. See, the last great player out of Sacramento.
Well, that Johnson kid wasn't bad.
Yeah, that Kevin Johnson, is that the kid you're thinking of? There's another kid named Bill Cartwright that wasn't bad either. He came from that area.
He was good. That was Hill that time on the follow. There's Kevin Johnson's jersey. One of only a handful that hang from the rafters here. Just 4 of them up there. Ryan Anderson again. Couldn't get that to go. Robin Lopez the rebound. That's a shot that he will normally get down. There's Brook Lopez up at the elbow. Now Lawrence Hill. Worked on by Robertson. Robertson's doing a pretty good job on Hill. Long three by Goods. Misses. And Omar Wilkes gets it out of there.
Well, they got numbers.
Robertson. Robertson lost the handle. Falls on the ball. And a timeout was called.
And the bench called the timeout. Heads-up play by the Cal bench.
No question about it. So the Bears will maintain possession. 17:28 remaining in the ball game. Stanford leads it by 4, 37-33.
I'd like a personal checking account.
Well, I'm all ears. What's your name?
Rob Lee.
All right, Bill. Can I call you Willie?
Rob.
I heard that. You married Ernesto?
No.
Little something for the missus.
Here's your milkshake, Kenny.
Rob.
Personal checking at other banks isn't always personal.
I need you here, Teddy.
U.S. Bank checking is built around you with free internet bill pay, free ATMs everywhere, and the most reward choices, even cash back. U.S. Bank. 5-star service guaranteed. How many stars does your bank have?
Bye, Murray.
Rob.
U.S. Bank is proud to serve as the official bank of the Pac-10 Conference.
Gravity will propel this Lexus IS over 4,000 feet in a matter of seconds. This Lexus IS will attempt to cover the same distance even faster. The 306 horsepower Lexus IS 350. So much for gravity. See your Southern California Lexus dealer.
17:28 left in the ball game, and it is a 4-point Stanford lead. They have led all the way. Ryan Anderson has really gotten on track, but he's been there when the Bears need him.
Yes, he has, and he's doing his work inside. He's not shot well from the perimeter in this game, but he really does a beautiful job around the goal. Against, by the way, some big guys in there. It's not easy to get those shots up against the Lopez twins, but he's done a nice job to score around the basket. If he gets on track outside, obviously it's going to be a huge lift for California.
So the Bears with another chance to cut this lead. Christopher floater, no, won't go. Follow, misses by Christopher. Followed his own shot, but couldn't quite finish.
Well, it's a tough matchup for Theo Robertson, Barry. Take a look, right? Robertson, 24, guarding Brooke Lopez, and see if they recognize that. Here's that matchup you want. He's right there if you can find him in there. Pretty good job, though, by Robinson to front him, wasn't it?
Yeah. Denying him. Now he's got it, but away from the basket. Knocks Robertson down. Robertson took a flop. It's a good no call, I think. And Lopez missed 2 shots, and then a foul from behind.
I think Brooke Lopez is mad at himself. I mean, he felt that's one he's got to finish. Robertson did all he could. He fell down, but Brooke had an uncontested shot in there, just didn't make it.
They got Fred Washington on the foul, his first. So again, the Bears with a chance to cut this lead. Ibaka leads for Christopher. Christopher going to try a 3. Comes up short. Freddie Washington the rebound for Stanford.
Yeah, that might have been a little early in the possession right there.
Lawrence Hill. Lawrence Hill very quietly gets his. He's got 11 now in the ball game, including 3 for 4 from three-point range.
Now, another assisted goal, though, for the Cardinal. You mentioned right before we left at halftime, they had 15 goals in the first half, 13 assisted. I mean, that's a huge number. You know, the Cardinal doing a beautiful job sharing the ball.
Christopher to the basket this time. Christopher's another guy who's starting to come of age. A freshman, might have been a little hesitant on the offensive end early in the year. Starting to get his chops.
Yeah, he's starting to kind of understand the whole situation. And again, Washington trying to post up.
Robin Lopez, the foul.
Was that his first goal, Barry? I don't remember many field goals. It was his first basket of the game.
Ibaka leaves for Wilkes. Now Robertson going to drive all the way.
Well, that's the mismatch that Brooke Lopez may have problems with, because you know Theo can put the ball on the floor, so Brooks got to play defense 18 feet from the goal. Got to give him a little bit of help.
So a 5-point lead once again. There's Lopez working on Anderson. The help from Robertson doesn't matter. Well, the double team came, and he still went through it.
Never brings it down, does he? He's got that beautiful turnaround. Now that may get an Ibaka goal. Oh, that's a nice field goal if you're a California fan, because Ibaka's struggling. Only had 1 field goal in the game, so that really gets him on track.
They get it in the hands of Brooke Lopez again. Now Goods. Goods spins into the lane and draws a foul on Ibaka. We'll take a break with 14:25 remaining to be played here in the ball game. It's now a 4-point lead for the Stanford Cardinal. We're coming back.
It's Jumbo Shrimp at Red Lobster, starting at $11.99. Choose from 5 irresistible dishes, like hand-breaded Jumbo Crunch Fried or mouth-watering Jumbo Scampi. For limited time, only at Red Lobster.
Join the growing number of riders who found that Geico Motorcycle Insurance has you covered. No wonder thousands of riders are switching to Geico each week. Geico. One call could save you money on your motorcycle insurance, too. Let's ride.
I pledge allegiance to 500 miles in the California sun.
The second race of the season being as important as the first.
Home track advantage.
Traffic at 183 miles per hour.
Stars who don't need stuntmen.
Goosebumps.
I pledge allegiance to the flag.
It's Jumbo Shrimp at Red Lobster, starting at $11.99. Choose from 5 irresistible dishes, like hand-breaded Jumbo Crunch Fried or mouth-watering Jumbo Scampi. For limited time, only at Red Lobster.
14:25 left in the ball game. It's a 4-point Stanford lead. They have led right from the outset, but the Bears have narrowed what was a 16-point lead to 4. Here's where we stand right now in the Pac-10 Conference, Stan, and it's still completely up for grabs.
Well, it is. You see UCLA jumping out to a 1-game lead, but look at Washington State. They win by 1 at Arizona State, 8-3 with USC. Oregon now has lost a couple in a row, so it's a big game right here tonight. Arizona got a huge win today. I mean, they win big by about 30. So Stanford trying to get up there in that upper echelon, trying to get a win on the road. Trent Johnson knows how. His team's really been playing well. They turned their year around, I thought, with the win at Virginia. They lost a tough non-conference game to Gonzaga in double overtime. I thought both teams, it was tough to have a loser in that one, but certainly the Cardinal playing better than they were earlier in the year.
No question. Going to be a player as we head toward March. And how many teams of the Pac-10 Conference get into the NCAA tournament? That's subject of debate in basketball circles these days. General consensus, though, is minimum 6.
Yeah, I think that's the consensus right now. You know, California, I think, would have been a major player, obviously, without the injury to Harden and Jordan Wilkes. I mean, they lose 2 6'11" guys in the middle, and has hampered them. Well, how about that pass?
Just a great pass. And Anderson could not finish. Robin Lopez kept his feet. That's another thing that the Lopez brothers do.
Someone once told me, you know, if you don't leave your feet, you've got a much better chance to play pretty good defense. And you only leave it when you know that you got a chance to block it.
Now, Goods has not been going good. He's only got 2 points in the ball game. But as we know, he can score in a hurry.
Well, they're going to bring Anderson. Anderson's starting at the high post, and they're probably going to end up with Anderson setting some kind of a screen, and then they love to come back to Ryan Anderson off that screen.
There's Ibaka up top. That's 7 on the shot clock. And Ibaka blows by, but throws it up too hard off the window. And Landry Fields clears it for the Stanford Cardinal. They lead by 6 now with the ball. As Washington just kind of followed Ty's finger to the basket.
Well, I think Fred Washington's really had a heck of a game. And you got to remember, he's a left-handed player, and it does a great job to break the defense down and finish it.
So 12 points and 5 assists in the ballgame for Fred Washington. Unselfish play. Senior leader of this team. We want to remind you that you have a chance to win tickets to this year's State Farm Pac-10 Women's Tournament in San Jose on March 2nd to the 5th, and that should be a great tournament. So, too, should the men's tournament. The Pacific Life Pac-10 Men's Tournament is in L.A. on March 7th and 10th. You can win tickets to either one of them. Log on to pac10.org for your chance to win.
Tickets, merchandise.
Both tournaments are going to be very good.
Yeah, it's going to be very good. And you look at the men's tournament, it's going to be really up for grabs, too. And the women's tournament may fall in that category also.
Isn't it interesting? We began this program by talking about the importance of the 2 guards, Ibaka and Goods. How about Randall trying to get that over Lopez?
Hey, listen, you got to admire his courage. I mean, Randall, about 5'6", just took that right in, and Robin Lopez says, "What are you doing? Are you taking that right at me?" He just deflected that one out of bounds. Not going to bother Randall.
Just to finish that thought, the 2 guards that we spoke of at the beginning of the show have a combined 7 points. Ibaka and Goods. Here's Goods with a rebound.
Well, they love to run this little weave on the outside and set a few. Cal does a great job, don't they, of jumping out and negating a guy to dribble off and shoot the ball. Now, Fred Washington's broken the defense down a couple of times.
Here's Landry Fields. He's not shy. Now Goods, 6 on the shot clock. Goods, a floater, got it.
I think Goods heard you.
Yeah, really.
He said, oh, yeah? Tell that Tompkins guy that I can get it going, too.
Well, and he can, and we saw that against Gonzaga. There's Randall again. He's going to try that again. Now, what do you have learned? Here's Tosh Finger with Vernisol, the only man between he and the basket, and Vernisol fouls him. And we'll take a timeout with 11:26 left, and Stanford has increased its lead back to 10. It's 50-40, the Cardinal over the Bears.
Hey, Mom. I'm at Jimmy's house. Can I stay for dinner? Yes, his parents are home. Yeah, dinner. Hold on. She doesn't believe me.
Carol? Yeah, we're all having dinner. Together.
A real meal on a weeknight? What a shocker. Pick up a 9-piece bucket of the Colonel's famous drumsticks and thighs, the juiciest, most flavorful chicken, now only $6.99. And don't forget the 99.
KTLA Prime News.
First in the news tonight.
On the scene of breaking stories.
About 400 people were arrested.
Covering the tough issues with hard-hitting investigative reports.
I'm Lynette Romero. Coming up, I'll tell you more about food safety.
Plus, get the latest buzz on Hollywood.
Thanks.
Weather where you live.
What a gorgeous day across the Southland.
And the day's best plays.
The Clippers are back in business.
News when you need it. KTLA Prime News at 10.
The new Augustus Tower. Everything evolves, including Caesar's Palace.
DestinationWildTV.com and enter to win a Destination Wild trip of your own.
You're watching FSN West.
Welcome back. Barry Tompkins, Dan Belwamini alongside at Haas Pavilion here in Cal. 50-40 ball game. Stanford over California. Here's Anthony Goods.
Well, Anthony did a great job here coming off a screen. Only a second field goal of the game, but did a nice job to just lean in. He was hoping to draw the foul. And here's the block by Robin Lopez. And, you know, he's a guy that's definitely a glass eater and an eraser inside. You just cannot take it around the basket without one of the Lopez twins at least blocking it or altering your shot.
Brooke Lopez will come back into the ballgame. Lawrence Hill will come in for the shooter in just a moment. For California now, it's Anderson, Omar Wilkes, Randall, Vernisol, and Robertson. For Stanford, it is Landry Fields with Anthony Goods. Tosh Finger at the free throw line, but I think Anthony Hill will replace him. And a discussion now as to whether they can make this substitution right now. And they can't, so Robin Lopez will stay out there. Brooke Lopez will be on the moment.
Yeah, that was a kind of a comical situation. But Brooke said, I'm just going in for my brother. Can't do it. Here you see the team free throws for Stanford. Of course, California, #1 in the country in terms of free throw percentage shooting. So obviously, the Bears would love to get in that bonus, get in the 1-and-1. Stanford down there in the mid-60s.
Cal only had 3 free throws in the first half. And interestingly enough, they only made 1. Stanford now on an 8-0 run. They've stretched this lead back to 12. There's Ryan Anderson working on Brooke Lopez, and Lopez, that time he got him with the body. Ryan Anderson is going to know that he's been in a contest, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and he's made up his mind that he will stay near the goal. Not many guys really around the country are able to either draw fouls or score against Stanford in tight.
Anderson's got 6 points in the game, now 7. Well below his season's average of 17. But again, you can't emphasize enough. I mean, he's playing out of position. He's not a true center.
Now, if they had Harden in, of course, or Wilkes, then you move Anderson to that 4 spot. And you saw the 2 free throws kind of automatic. That's why it's critical for California to try to get to the line. Now, to do that, got to get Stanford in jeopardy.
There's Washington, a little jump hook. Anderson with a rebound. And the Bears trying to get back-to-back goals. Omar Wilkes comes up short. And Landry Fields runs the rebound down.
You can dictate a little tempo now if you're Stanford and get selected. I mean, you're sitting on a 10-point lead.
Rick Lopez bringing Anderson out with him. Now Fields drops this one down for Lawrence Hill. It's on the ground, and Fred Washington picks it up. He has it blocked from behind by Robertson. Gets it on the other side and puts it on.
Yeah, they've hurt California as expected around the basket. And if you're Trent Johnson, that's a smart move. Continue to put the ball down low and force California to defend.
Verniso. Now Robertson. Omar Wilkes to Ryan Anderson. Ryan Anderson, he knows he's got to at the very least alter the shot. So even if Rick Lopez doesn't get a piece of it, he's making Anderson change the shot.
Yeah, and he's hurrying, and most of the time he doesn't have to do that. I thought he might elect to take one of the Lopez twins away from the basket, but again, it's just a clinic by Stanford. They are living right around the paint, and they are making California pay.
And the Bears just can't find it.
Hey, you talk about the last 5 minutes, they've only scored 1 field goal. Make it 2.
Robertson getting the tough baskets, and it actually is only 1 field goal because there are only 2 points for Ryan Anderson's free throws.
Well, they opened up a side of the floor there, and Ben Braun just told Theo Robertson to take it himself. Now, if you're California, you've got to have the mindset. I mean, it's not panic time. You're still plenty. You're down 9 minutes to go, but you may want to extend the floor a bit defensively.
So Robertson will go to the free throw line here. The foul is on Lawrence Hill, incidentally.
We've talked about Theo Robertson many times, Barry, but here's another guy out of De La Salle High School here in the Bay Area, and he is overachieved. I mean, he's a guy that came in here and really has done a beautiful job. And there's Devon Harden. You see the soft cast, then have that hard cast on. We saw him walking around, and he looked okay.
And that could be interpreted as an intentional foul, actually, as Christopher pushing Washington on the way to the basket. But it'll be a 2-shot foul. There's Devon Harden, and the Bears, of course, sincerely hope that they can get him back by the Pac-10 tournament, but I haven't heard too much wishful thinking on that in that regard.
And the other thing too is even if you do get him back, it takes time to get into game shape. You just don't kind of roll right on the floor after having surgery on your foot to be at 100%, and you don't want to jeopardize his career. So they'll be very careful with Devon. He's an academic, high academic guy, just a wonderful all-around player, really a student athlete in the best sense. And obviously they need Devon on the floor. And he's saying that he looks, he feels pretty good right now.
So the Bears will get the rebound off from this free throw. Stanford still on a 13-5 run. There's Robertson. Robertson trying to get around Tosh Finger. He does. Throws up a shot almost sidearm. And the loose ball finally controlled by Christopher. Back to Randall for 3. No. Anderson the rebound, taken away by Washington. Washington puts it on the floor, drives all the way, giving up the Finger to the basket, and a foul.
I think both coaches wanted fouls.
Yeah,
Ben Braun he wanted one at the other end. Trent Johnson wanted one that time going to the basket. Officials letting him go.
Randall, after scoring 12 in the first half, has been bageled in the second half.
Well, Goods has done a pretty good job to close on him. That was the first open shot that Randall's had an opportunity to knock down.
Here's Fred Washington. Washington has really been the catalyst for the Stanford team in this game right now.
Well, I know he's shooting at a very high percentage from the field. He's not missed many shots.
There's Taj Finger. Body's falling again, and Finger gets it down.
Now, if you ran a shot chart on Stanford, well, he did it again, didn't he? He had Taj Gibson there. You see the opening, and you say, well, I got a chance to take it all the way to the basket, but guess what?
You don't.
You don't.
Yeah.
It closes in a hurry.
Here's Ibaka, puts it on the floor, puts up a floater, gets it. So a 12-point game, still plenty of time, just 8 minutes remaining here in the ball game, and plenty of time for Stanford to, or rather for California to mount a comeback if they got it in them. But Stanford playing excellent basketball and doing what they need to do. Well, that is jamming it in.
Yeah, they're not relying on anything on the perimeter. Now they're going to get a foul on the outside on Randall. We're going to put it on the block every single time and make you defend us.
The answer would run here. 7:44 remaining, 59-47, and
I'm thinking of a number between 450 and 850. Do you know what it is? It's my credit score, and it happens to be 720. The higher my credit score, the better chance I have of saving a lot of money. Do you know your credit score? Do you know what's in your credit report? You can find out right now at freecreditreport.com. You can even print it out if you want to. How much easier could it get? Log on to freecreditreport.com. That's freecreditreport.com.
Free credit report offer applies with enrollment in Triple Advantage.
It's a great experience. I'm Stephanie, and this is my Toyota Camry Hybrid. I average about 35 to 40 miles per gallon, depending on how fast I drive. It's got a lot of great luxury things going for it. I don't feel like I paid a luxury price. The power of this car is just amazing. The pickup, the smoothness, the quietness. It's like a stealth bomber. Every feature you can think of, Toyota thought about it and included it into this car. It feels great. I love my car. It's a great car.
See your Southern California Toyota dealer.
The Pac-10 basketball tournament returns in March. All 10 teams get caught in the madness. The Pacific Life Men's Tourney returns to Staples. And the State Farm Women's Tourney tips off at HP Pavilion in San Jose. Witness the March to the Madness live. For more information, log on to pac10.org or call Ticketmaster.
Back while we're away, a technical foul was called on Anthony Goods, and Trent Johnson coming very close to getting one called on him as well. But cooler heads have prevailed. Good job by the officials to take care of business here. And Ayinde Ibaka will be at the free throw line to shoot the technical foul.
It's a great opportunity if you're a California fan to get right back in the game. So Trent Johnson was really heated on that timeout. Didn't feel that the technical in his mind wasn't justified. But Goods obviously said something to the official, and he picks up a technical, so that'll be the 2. And this is why it's so important for California to get the foul line. I mean, they lead the nation in free throw shooting.
Tonight, the Bears 6 of 8 at the free throw line, just about on par for what they usually shoot. There's the shooting percentages in the second half. Lawrence Hill knocks it down. Boy, he has made big shot after big shot for this team this year.
Well, they really did, and coming out of that timeout, they featured Hill, and they opened up a side of the floor and let him go one-on-one, and you're right, he has delivered time and time again for the car. He's really developing into quite a player.
Got 15 in the ball game now, and it's a 12-point Stanford lead. Ibaka got around Robin Lopez, leaves it for Christopher, who missed a jam. And a foul.
Standard foul 42.
All right, Barry, the last time down, here is Hill. They are going to clear out and vacate this side of the floor. Watch Hill as he turns. This is planned. They vacate that whole side of the floor and let him go one-on-one and see if he can get a shot up. And Hill delivers again. He's tough to handle. He's a very good shooter. He puts it on the ground. An outstanding all-around talent.
So Patrick Christopher, another freshman at the free throw line. He gets it. Here's what wound up in being 2 free throws for Christopher. Missed the dunk, and Robin Lopez fouled him.
Well, you like the activity, though. If you're California and Ben Braun, you're thinking that's what you want to see Christopher do. Let's attack the basket.
1 out of 2 for Patrick Christopher. It's an 11-point Stanford lead. They have the ball. Mitch Johnson in the ball game now to run the point for Stanford. There's Hill, turnaround.
Well, he is unbelievable. I'm telling you, he just I mean, that was just with ease.
He's 7 of 9 from the floor. Remember the other night against Gonzaga, he started 6 of 6. Just an excellent shooter. There's Ibaka trying to drive, and Ibaka will draw the foul. The shot won't go. Now California's trying to put it on the floor and take it to him.
Well, I think that's smart by the Bears. And they have to find a way to get to the foul line. They've done a better job of late. They didn't get to the foul line very much in the first half. And Ben Braun, we know that, you know, he's just hoping California can stay close and get back in this game. I mean, they're 13 down, and Ibaka to the line, who's, you know, you don't want to jinx him, but he's normally, you know, pretty good shape to make a few here.
Bears now 8 of 11 at the free throw line.
Now, no question, it's got to be a major close for Ryan Anderson if the Bears are going to come back and win this game. You don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but he's not had the offensive game that he normally does.
And Andy Ibaka now has 11 points in the game and has really stepped it up here in the second half. But his team still trails by 11. Here's Washington leaving for Hill. Wide open 3, and he missed that one. And Randall gets it out of there for the Bears. Randall going to try to push this, and he beat everybody that time.
You know what? He's not getting that one blocked. He said, you know, I don't see any big guys. I'm going right to the 10.
Why not? I admire his courage. First basket of the second half for Randall. He's got 14 in the game. Goods trying to post Randall up. Goods in traffic, draws a foul. Got a block on Harrison, I believe. No, on Pribble.
Was the right idea. Pribble was just a little bit late. According to the official, was he there in time or not? Pribble's going to help. He's coming. He's coming. Close. Bobby was there. That was close. Yeah, he thought he was there.
I thought he was. Yeah. That's a tough call, though, for the officials to make.
Now the block charge and the goaltender, the two toughest. But Lawrence trying to close the deal. Hill. I mean, he is not allowing California to come back.
He's got 20 in the ball game, 4 of 6 beyond the arc. And he's been doing that all year long, and this is not an aberration. There's Patrick Christopher. Goes halfway down, comes out. Mitch Johnson gets it out of there for Stanford. So now, Cardinal with the ball and the lead by 12, and the clock quickly becoming their ally.
I try to find Lawrence Hill again. well, now that could be intentional.
Yeah, that should be
grabbed. They're going to call it intentional or not. I think one official almost went with the crossed hands that signify an intentional foul, but I don't see it now. I think they're going to discuss it. Maybe they're going to look at a monitor.
I think they are.
Well, I think this
if they see the monitor, this will be intentional.
Yeah, I think so too.
And this is what the officials are looking at right now. Now, no, actually, when you see it from that angle, it does not look. Now, from our angle, it definitely did look here. It looked like grabbing by the waist. Well, I think the foul was before, wasn't it?
That's right. I think the foul was before. I think the second player may have grabbed him going to the basket. So the decision is, was the defender playing the ball, or did he push intentionally? So now we're going to get another look at it. So I think well, no, the foul is there.
The foul reaching in, and the grab came after the foul. So I don't think you can call that intentional.
Now, and that, you know, you're right. I'm going to agree with you there. On the second look, I don't think it's intentional. That's good officiating, though. Yeah, I mean,
no,
let's make the right call. And if you're in doubt, let's look at a monitor.
And it is the right call. Not an easy game to officiate, I'll tell you. In this place,
yeah, most people think, oh, basketball's not that hard to officiate. You just run out there, and if there's a foul, you call it. And it's got to be one of the toughest games to officiate. The game is so fast, and you don't have a whole lot of time to make judgments out there.
And this one is a physical game too. I think the officials done a great job in this game, to tell you the truth. So now a 14-point Stanford lead once again, coming down toward 5 minutes remaining. Now the Bears cannot afford too many empty possessions. There's Ibaka, got a good look. Couldn't get it to go though. Mitch Johnson gets it out of there.
Well, the Cardinal now intent to run their half-court motion. If they don't have it, you know, they're going to back it out, run a little screen. See, again, put it down on the block. That's a tough shot. That was a hard one. He almost made it, though.
They're going to get a second chance here. Washington just picked up the loose ball, held it till everybody went by him, and just dropped it in.
I tell you, I think he and Lawrence Hill have been the major difference here in the second half. And in the first half, it was Brook Lopez, but a great job by Lawrence Hill and Fred Washington. Fred actually has been terrific the whole game.
Yeah, he has. Very consistent. 17 points, 7 assists. Got 6 rebounds. Very consistent game.
Looks to me like Stanford trying to make a statement tonight.
It's a nice bounce back game for them. So Randall will go to the free throw line.
Remember when Jerome Randall went back to Chicago to play DePaul? And of course, he's from Chicago, and he had all kinds of people there in the stands. And you know he was pressing that game. Didn't have a particularly good game. You felt sorry for him, you know, in the sense that coming back home, you want to play as well as you can. And he's answered the bell, though, in a latter part of the year. He's done a nice job.
Wolf's going to come back into the ballgame. Patrick Christopher will leave for the Bears. Robin Lopez sits for Stanford.
I got to tell you, Barry, I think the mindset now for California, you may have to take some strategic fouls. You know, maybe on Brook Lopez. You know, try to think of some guys out there that are not great free throw shooters. And it's tough if you're California just to allow Stanford to control the ball and use most of the shot clock.
There's Brook Lopez turnaround off the front rim. Randall coming the other way for the Bears. 2 on 3, and Randall has it knocked away from behind. Tried to do a little too much that time. Goods ahead of everybody with Ibaka. Now Robertson going to drive on Hill. Anderson, he's got a good look. Buries it for 3.
It's the first perimeter shot I can remember Anderson making. He's normally a young guy that could step away, and he's very effective on the outside, but not tonight. Well, here's what you said. That I think Randall doing a little bit too much. Goods, I thought, made the play. Came in and deflected, and then a good lead pass, and Goods finished the play. So, again, Fred Washington, Anthony Goods, a nice job at the defensive end. I mean, this is not totally out of the question. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's 12 with 3:44 to go. It's not like it's in the bank and, you know, warm up the bus and let's get ready to get out of here if you're the Cardinal. You can't fall asleep now.
So Ben Brown will talk it over with the Cal Bears. As you said, Ryan Anderson able to step out for the first time all night long. Anthony Goods, consistent. Now he's got 10 points in the ballgame. You know, again, just kind of waiting for things to come his way as he did the other night against Gonzaga. This Stanford team, I think, getting better and better. Wednesday's game notwithstanding. I mean, I thought, as you said, there really were no losers back there. Two good teams playing extremely good basketball. Well, we're going to take a timeout at 3:43, and it's 72-60 Stanford over California.
Hey, Mom. I'm at Jimmy's house. Can I stay for dinner? Yes, his parents are home. Yeah, dinner.
And you did that.
Hold on. She doesn't believe me.
Carol? Yeah, we're all having dinner. Together.
A real meal on a weeknight? What a shocker. Pick up a 9-piece bucket of the Colonel's famous drumsticks and thighs, the juiciest, most flavorful chicken, now only $6.99. And don't forget the 99-cent KFC fish snacker. Bring back dinner at KFC.
The racing scene roars into California Speedway February 24th and 25th, and you are there for an adrenaline-filled weekend of race excitement. Thanks to FSN West and California Speedway. Just send an email to fullthrottleweekend@foxsports.net, and you could win tickets to the big race, pit and party zone passes, VIP parking, and FSN prize packs. If you want to get to the race, you gotta go full throttle. Enter today.
Welcome back. 3:43 left in this one, and a 12-point Stanford lead. They have led from the get-go. Let's take a look, Danny, at our Red Lobster nothing but net shot of the game. Here it is.
And why not Lawrence Hill just does a great job to knock it all the way down. I mean, that's our Red Lobster nothing but net shot of the game. And by the way, Lawrence is only 8 of 11 in this game, so you know he has missed 3 shots, but you'd never know it. So that's our nothing but net Red Lobster shot of the game, and Lawrence Hill's just been spectacular here tonight.
And if he missed 3 shots, I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't either. They must have been in the first half. I don't remember missing many in the second half.
He's also 4 of 6 beyond the arc. He's got 20 points in the ball game. He's got 4 assists and 6 rebounds. I mean, that's a pretty good line. Nice little touch pass from Washington, and Hill with the finish. How about Washington, too? Again, we talked about his line before. He's got 17 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. Stanford shooting 53% in the ball game. 20 assists on 30 field goals for Stanford. Omar Wood stops the bleeding, at least momentarily, for California. 4 players for Stanford in double figures, led by Hill's 22. There's Hill again. Going to back it out, use some clock.
Well, I think that's the thing to do if you're Stanford. I thought California might take a strategic foul on Brook Lopez when he did get the ball.
Anthony Goods. And Brook Lopez puts it back.
Never brings it down, does he?
Never brings it down. Brook Lopez is becoming a force.
Oh, he really is tough in there.
Well, he was the player of the week in the Pac-10 last week, and this week all he's done is go for 19 so far tonight, 20 on Wednesday night.
Yeah, Barry, remember the last time down, watch the touch pass. Here it's going to go to here, and it's going to go right there. I mean, wasn't that beautifully done? And you talked about Fred Washington with his, great hands, high to low. And, the ball barely hit the ground that time, and a nice job by Stanford to bring it up the floor.
Washington, one of the only seniors, one of the only starting seniors in the Pac-10 conference. We were talking to Ben Howland about this, and he said, "You ever stop to think there are only 8 starting seniors
now that's
in the entire conference?"
When Ben Howland told me that, he said only 8 starting senior players in the Pac-10 conference. I said, "Now, are you sure about that?"
Yeah.
What am I doing? Question him. Yeah, he goes, "Yeah, I'm sure."
Well, there aren't many. I mean, you start thinking about it. There's the 2 in Arizona, Shakur Mudenovic. And then you got Angunu at Arizona State.
And you got Brooks at Oregon.
And you got Clark at Washington State.
And you've got Fred Washington here.
Right. And Indy Ubaka.
I mean, yeah, there's not a whole lot. There's a good trivia there, Barry. I mean, you're doing this all off the top of your head.
This is a season high, incidentally, for Fred Washington. He's got 17. He'll be at the line, try to increase that. Came here as a scorer, and he's become really the complete player. Elsewhere around the Pac-10 conference today, Arizona, boy, talk about a reversal. Just beats up on Washington. That was a game that Washington had to have. Now, here's an interesting thing. Leading scorer, Jordan Hill.
Yeah, Jordan had a big game, but Jordan's been starting of late. So,
he has been.
And UCLA wins, you know, they just ran away from Oregon State. Now, look at these two here, USC and Oregon. You knew that was going to be a terrific game. So USC beats Oregon twice, and, of course, Washington State beats Arizona State by 1. And from what I understand, Arizona State had the last shot to win that game. There's, again.
You got a pretty quick first step.
Oh, yeah. Randall does have a dynamic first move to the basket. Got to make a foul.
Anderson fouls him. That'll be Anderson's third. 2 minutes and 12 seconds left in a 12-point ball game.
And Tosh Finger, if you're wondering, is a 72% free throw shooter. So it's still a 1-on-1.
Randall with 19. That's his high as a collegiate.
This is number 3 by the main.
Now Robertson's going to come back into the California lineup. Christopher will leave. Mitch Johnson will leave. Carlton Weatherby will come in for Stanford.
Of course, Tosh Finger has been an integral part of this Stanford team as he gets that free throw down. You know what he really brings to the table? He's a magnificent defender. He really has a great understanding of the game. And he's a guy, when he comes in, he changes the complexion defensively, and he gives Stanford a completely new look. And he's a guy that could score also, but I think his defense is really his strength.
Got a cut man tonight. You see that bandage up over the right eye of Tosh Finger. There it is.
We're going to be in the three-point mode now for California with 2 minutes to go.
Got it home over a flying Robin Lopez. So back to a 12-point ball game, and Trent Johnson wants a timeout.
Barry, what's going on with the ACC on Sunday night?
Well, we're going to have more hoops brought to you by Pizza Hut. It's coming back with Florida State, and they're trying to upset 8th-ranked Duke. They'll be playing on Duke's home court. And that, of course, is no box and chocolates. Coverage beginning with the college basketball tip-off show tomorrow at 1:30 Eastern, 10:30 Pacific, right here on FSN. Florida State and the Dukies.
Well, and we're talking about free throw shooting teams. We know California is #1 in the nation. Who's #2?
Florida State, of course.
Florida State's #2.
And then Gonzaga, #3. So we've seen 2 of the 3 in the last couple of nights.
Barry, how about the win by North Carolina State today over North Carolina? Beat them by 3. I mean, that's a great win. Probably the hallmark win Sidney Lowe in his young career. He took over that NC State job, and you know, that's got to get the people at North Carolina State really jacked up. I mean, that's a great win against North Carolina. Probably haven't done that in a while.
Here's the numbers on the Lopez twins. Gonna get a foul this time on Omar Wilkes. There's Jordan Wilkes, Omar's brother. Of course, his dad, Jamal Wilkes, usually in the crowd here. Jamal, one of the great players.
I'll tell you one thing about Jordan, he's put on some weight. But you know, one thing about his game, he's a finesse guy at about 6'11". And I really believe if he gets a little more strength, he's got a great feel for the game. He's a nice shooter, and it's too bad, you know, he was injured and couldn't play this year. But think about next year. I mean, if Harden comes back, you got Harden, you got Jordan Wilkes, and you got Ryan Anderson. You got 3 dynamic players. Theo Robertson's back. California. I mean, the future looks bright for the Bears.
And their transfer will be coming in. Boykins, as you
Jamal Boykins, who was, in fact, transferred from Duke.
That's right. Omar Wilkes has to jack that one up over the outstretched hand of Washington. We want to remind you, final word is coming up. Here's the final word right here.
final score in most regions will be coming up, and I'm sure they're going to talk about that NC State win, which was a big win in the ACC, Barry. Well, this is a statement game by Stanford. You know, it's California, as we said earlier, Ben Braun, you know, they just, with all the injuries, they can ill afford any problems at all. And it's been tough for Ben because, you know, he was thinking about this year as being a big year, and then all the injuries hit him with all his big guys. You know, it's funny, like, you think about their team last year when they had Leon Poe and Rod Benson. They lost Richard Midget. They had a lot of big guys last year.
That's right.
They went from having a surplus of big guys to none. So, you know, you're going to have Boykins next year. You're going to have Wilkes. You'll have Knezevich, who's sitting there. And, you know, I think Nikola Knezevich, who's a pretty good player. I mean, he's a guy that's redshirted this year at 6'4". He'll help him at the point.
Now, that'll be very good next year, but as you said, Ben had very high hopes for this year. There's Nikola.
Yeah, Nikola will and you've been talking about a gym rat. This guy is the first in, last in the league.
He is still.
Yeah, and loves the game and working on his perimeter game, and he's about 6'3.5", 6'4", and it should be the point guard next year.
Anthony Goods, in the meantime, drives another nail in the coffin and makes it an 18-point ball game. The biggest lead that Stanford has enjoyed. Here's Ibaka, and one.
When you look at the NCAA tournament and win tonight by Stanford, you know, that's going to move them to 15-6, 7-3 in the league, and they're looking, you know, you don't say the word lock, but because anything can happen, but they're in pretty good shape. Not bad for a team that, you know, has a veteran leader in Washington, but boy, they've got a lot of young players. They've come faster than most people thought.
They have. They started out very slowly. I mean, they had a couple of regrettable losses early on. Stanford lost the game to Santa Clara at home. Doesn't usually happen. They lost to Air Force. That's certainly a forgivable loss.
Air Force is tough. They're one of my sleeper teams. Not a sleeper team, but I think it's a team go a long way in the NCAA tournament. Got a lot of veteran guys on that Air Force team. They only won today. I think it was they beat Wyoming like 80-something to 40-something. So of course Wyoming is a bit depleted with they had a fight in a previous game. There's quite a few players that aren't playing.
Down the road for the Cardinal. It is not going to be easy next week. They have to go up to Pullman on Thursday night. And we know what Washington State has done. And now they got people coming out to watch those games. And they are tough. They're tough at home and on the road. They're just tough, period. And Washington, of course, very good in Seattle. And they're going to be licking their wounds after just getting tromped today at Arizona. And they're down to where they got to win, just about win out. Goods has it rejected by Vergasol, but he'll go to the free throw line. You know, the other thing about, we talk about how many teams will Pac-10 get into the tournament, and 6 seems to be the workable number. But the thing that strikes me about those 6 is that I think they can not only get to the tournament, I think all 6 of those teams are capable of winning more than one game.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question. I think UCLA shocked the world last year when they went to the final game. But you're right. I think when you look at UCLA, Oregon, Washington State, I think USC has had an outstanding year, and Stanford and Arizona. Well, there you see the California upcoming games, and of course they flip-flop with Stanford, and we'll be up there to see that Washington game there. And then they got to go to Pullman, Washington State, and finish. They got the Oregons and finish up with the Los Angeles schools. Nothing easy there in that schedule.
Well, Ben Braun has brought his bench players on now. David Liss in the ball game. Alex Quibble has come back. Patrick Christopher on the floor. Taylor Harrison and Eric Vergasol right now on the floor for the Bears. For Stanford, Hill with 24 points. That ties his career high. Washington with a season high 21. Brook Lopez with 19. He had 20 the other night against Gonzaga.
And Brook had 15 of those in the first half.
Crowd wants David Liss to get a shot, and he does. He puts it off the top of the backboard. He wouldn't like that very much. And Goods finishes with 14 points as well.
That's amazing because I remember you saying that Anthony Goods really hasn't gotten on track. He did the same thing against Gonzaga. Of course, he got a lot of those in the overtime against Gonzaga, but Goods he finds a way to finish with pretty good numbers.
And likewise, Trent Johnson will bring his bench to the floor also. Will Paul in the ball game, Kenny Brown, David Dildy. This is Weatherby.
Yeah, Weatherby, remember, has played a pivotal part. He's a very good defender. Did a nice job. Remember when they beat Washington State on Derek Lowe in the second half.
So they will not take another shot, I don't believe. 4 seconds, they'll hold it, and this one will go in the books as a 90-71 victory. And a very impressive win, I think, for Stanford.
Yeah, a strong comeback after the loss to Gonzaga. Impressive win, you're right. Stanford's on the rise.
No question about it. The final score is next for most of you. That's a wrap for us from here in Berkeley. For my partner, Dan Belwamany, I'm Barry Tompkins. So long, everybody.
Welcome to Ranger Country.